Hi, I'm Elise Pulliam, registered dietitian. Today I'd like to talk about weight control. A lifestyle with good nutrition, regular physical activity, and stress management supports a healthy weight. People who lose weight at a gradual, steady pace of about 1 to 2 pounds per week are more likely to keep the weight off than people who lose weight quickly. But before we begin, let's test your knowledge with this one question. Dietitians recommend a weekly weight loss goal of 5 pounds per week. Is that true or false? That answer is false. It's recommended that you lose weight slowly and gradually. You want to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. So let's start by identifying your ideal body weight. We're going to use a couple of different ways to do that. The first one is BMI. You'll see BMI used very frequently. Anytime you go to your doctor's office, they'll do your weight and height. If you are admitted to the hospital, they will take your weight and height, and the hospital system will automatically calculate your BMI. The BMI is a useful measure of overweight and obesity. It's calculated from your height and weight. BMI is an estimate of body fat and a good gauge of your risk for diseases that can occur with more body fat. The higher your BMI, the higher your risk of certain diseases. So to calculate, well, before we look at the chart, if your BMI is below 18.5, then that means that you're underweight. If your BMI is between 18.5 and 24.9, then you're normal weight. And if your BMI is 25 to 29.9, you're overweight. And if your BMI is over 30, then you're classified as. We're going to look at the BMI chart, but before we do that, another way to look at your weight would be to measure your waist circumference. Measuring the waist circumference helps to screen for possible health risks that comes with overweight and obesity. If most of your fat is around your waist rather than your hips, you're at higher risk for heart disease and type 2 diabetes. This risk goes up the greater your waist size is. For an example, if you're a female and your waist circumference is over 35, you're at greater risk. And for men, if your waist circumference is over 40, this puts you at higher risk, again, for developing a number of different diseases. So to correctly measure your waist, you want to stand, place a tape measure around the middle, just above your hip bone. Measure your waist just as you breathe out, and this will give you an accurate waist circumference. But back to the BMI. To calculate your BMI, you want to first look for your height on this chart here, and the height is in inches. So if you're 5 feet tall, you would start at 60. That would be 60 inches. If you're 5'5", that's 65 inches. If you're 5'11", that's 71 inches. And if you're 6 feet tall, that's 72 inches. So what you would do, you remember we said earlier that if your BMI is less than 18.5, which would be in this area here, you're underweight. And if it's between 18.5 and 24.9, that's going to be normal weight. If your BMI is 25 to 29, that's overweight. And if your BMI is 30 and over, that's obese. So let's look at a person who is 5'6". And if you go all the way over here, they're still normal weight. When we get to 148, that's still normal weight. But once you get up to 155, that means that you're slightly overweight. And then if we continue the move over here, let's see, to 30, if you're 5'6" and you weigh 186, then that will put you at the obese category. So again, you take your height and just move over to find your weight. And if your weight is 186 or above, then you're classified as obese, and you're going to want to lose weight if your weight is in that particular range, just for your overall health. Anytime that you are obese, it's going to put you at higher risk, again, for developing a number of different disease states. Some of them are listed here, like gallbladder. If you're obese, you're at higher risk for becoming depressed, for heartburn, for developing sleep apnea, for heart disease, high cholesterol, hypertension, stroke, different types of cancer, type 2 diabetes, and the list goes on and on. So we want to try to get the weight closer to your ideal body weight. So a couple of ways to do this. Some steps that you can take for weight loss would be to, first of all, set realistic, specific goals. And one would be to set a goal to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. You want to change some of your habits. A lot of us have really bad habits from childhood. Like when I was a child, I could not get up from the table until all the food was gone. So as an adult, I would eat until the plate was clean, just like I was taught. But unfortunately, that teaches you to not pay attention to when you're hungry, when you're full. So you just continue to eat until everything's gone, which is a bad habit. Another thing that you can do, another step to weight loss, would be to increase your exercise. You want to eat fewer calories, trim the fat. You want to decrease the amount of sugar in your diet. You want to avoid omitting any food group. So if you're trying a diet plan that recommends that you omit, say, carbohydrates, then that's not a good idea. You want to eat for hunger. So again, pay attention to when you're hungry and when you're no longer hungry, and stop eating when you're no longer hungry. You want to eat less again and make lifestyle changes. Like a good lifestyle change would be to plan to exercise, to walk, or do any kind of physical activity every other day after work. So these are a few steps that you can take for weight loss. This slide shows some common causes of weight gain. One major one is eating too many calories. Another cause of weight gain would be excessive calories from beverages, and we're really going to talk about beverages in the next couple of slides. A big cause of weight gain is eating out too frequently. I recommend that you try to eat out no more than 1 to 2 times a week, and I know for some people that may even be unrealistic. So if you're eating out every day, then I guess a realistic goal would be to cut it down to 3 times a week. But look at where you are now and try to make an improvement to decrease the frequency that you're eating out. And we'll talk about why in the next couple of slides. Another cause of weight gain is large serving sizes. Hidden calories is a cause for weight gain. There are a lot of calories in areas where we least expect it. Decreased calorie use is a cause of weight gain. You're not active enough. You're lacking exercise. There's some environmental factors that will have an effect on weight gain. Say if you live in an area that does not have a place to walk or to exercise, or if you live in an area that does not have fruits and vegetables available. If you live in an area that has fast food restaurants on every corner, those are some environmental things that could have an effect on weight gain. There are also some medications that can affect your weight gain. Antidepressants can cause some weight gain. Steroids can cause some weight gain. And there's some genetic factors. Some people are genetically predisposed to weight gain. And then there are also some diseases that can contribute to weight gain, like thyroid issues. But we're going to focus on the factors that we can affect. Some things like the genetic stuff, we can't do anything really about that. But there are a lot of other areas that we can affect, and that we're going to kind of focus on those. So for weight loss, 1 pound is equal to 3,500 calories. So every time you eat an extra 3,500 calories, you gain 1 pound. We've said this a couple of times already, but safe weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds per week. So to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week, you must create a caloric deficit of 500 to 1,000 calories per day. And you do this by decreasing the calorie intake from food and increasing the calorie usage with exercise. So how many calories do you need? That would be a great first question. A quick estimate or a quick and easy way to calculate this would be to take your current weight and multiply it by 10 to get the number of calories that you would need to maintain your weight. And then for weight loss, you would subtract 500 calories from the step one that we just talked about. A good example of this would be if you weigh 160 pounds, you would times that by 10, which means that 1,600 calories will maintain your weight. If you want to lose weight, you would take that same 1,600 calories and subtract 500 calories. And this will give you 1,200. So this means that if you want to lose weight, you would need to only eat 1,200 calories. Generally, most women need between 1,200 and 18 calories per day. Generally, most men need between 1,500 and 2,000 calories per day. These are all just estimates. If you need exact numbers, then you want to see a dietitian and they could calculate your exact caloric needs and for weight maintenance and for weight loss. But generally, we could start with these numbers here. So I want to say it one more time. To calculate the number of calories that you should have every day, you want to take your current weight and multiply it by 10. So if you weigh 160 pounds, you times that by 10, that will give you 1,600 calories. And again, if you're trying to lose weight, you would subtract 500 calories from that 1,600 calories, which will give you 1,200 calories. So your goal would be to consume 1,200 calories per day to lose weight. So to put that in perspective, a Whopper with cheese combo meal has 1,600 calories. I know that sounds insane, but a Whopper with cheese combo has 1,600 calories. And we just said in the previous slide, if you're trying to lose weight and your weight goal or your caloric goal is 1,200 calories per day, this just will not fit. So the Whopper with cheese alone is almost 800 calories. It's 790 calories. A large French fry from Burger King is about 400 calories. And a large Coke, which is 32 ounces from Burger King, is about 400 calories. So that is more than you can have for an entire day if you eat this meal. It will be almost impossible to lose weight if you're consuming high calorically dense meals like this. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're going to keep talking about how you want to avoid eating out, and this is a reason why. So again, this meal has 1,600 calories. That's insane. We mentioned beverages and weight loss. Beverages are sneaky calories. A lot of people will drink and not even think about the number of calories that they're consuming. But if you take in two 20-ounce sodas or two 20-ounce cappuccinos or two 16-ounce bottles of fruit juice or two 1-quart bottles of a sports drink, these beverages provide enough calories to gain a pound per week or to prevent you from weight loss. So we really, really want to pay attention to beverages. I almost never spend my calories on beverages. If I have to have a soda, it's going to be a diet soda, or I'll drink some kind of infused water or plain water. I like the taste of plain water, but you want to watch out for liquid calories. Alcohol is the same thing. Alcohol can also slow down your fat metabolism. It can raise your triglycerides, but one beer is 150 calories. A six-pack is 900 calories. A glass of wine is 125 calories. A 16-ounce frozen margarita is 531 calories. So again, be careful with the liquids. I recommended earlier that you eat out no more than maybe once or twice a week would be great. But if you're already eating out every day, then lower it to, whatever. Small steps are fine. So if you're eating out every day, decrease it to 4 times a week, every other day or something. But eat out less. When you do eat out, however, you want to make healthier choices. A couple of things you can do is skip the appetizer. Skip the bread basket with butter. You want to choose baked items over fried items. Watch out for the portion sizes. They are getting larger and larger. You could ask for a to-go container right when you get your food and put half of it in the box for later. You could also share the entree with your dinner date. You want to replace soda, sweetened tea, punches, alcohol with water, or you want to watch out for words like crispy, battered, breaded, creamy, supersize. These are all indicators of high calorie foods. You should also watch out for butter on vegetables, gravies, sour cream, salad dressings. Some of them have a lot of calories. Cream, non-dairy creamer, cheese, mayonnaise are all items that you want to watch out for when you're eating out. Again, if you're going to eat out, make healthy choices. Some ideas for breakfast would be cereal with low-fat milk, a bagel, whole wheat toast with avocado, English muffin, turkey bacon, Canadian bacon, peanut butter, nuts. 1 to 2 eggs per week would be okay. Low-fat yogurt's a good idea. Low-fat milk, fruit, and oatmeal are all good choices, whether you're eating out or at home. For lunch or dinner meals, choose baked or grilled meats, chicken, fish. Have a broth-based soup to help you to feel full. Salads are a good idea. Lots of vegetables, low-fat salad dressing, fruit, yogurt, sandwiches with grilled meats or cold cuts would all be good ideas. You want to really make behavior modifications. Break the bad habits that we talked about earlier, like eating until your plate is empty. Just pay attention. Try to eat until you're no longer hungry. Snacking on empty calories is a bad habit that we want to get rid of. Watch the dessert items. Watch the poor food choices. Watch out for your serving sizes. Work on your exercise habits. Set goals to exercise a little bit more than you're doing right now. Watch out for the emotional eating. Some people eat if they're sad. Some people eat if they're happy. Some people eat if they're bored. Some people eat if they're sad. Watch out for emotional eating. Try to avoid planning all events around food. I tell my friends all of the time, they'll invite me to go out to lunch or dinner, and I have to tell them, I can't eat all of the time. We can go out, but we have to do other stuff. We could go to the movies, or we could go bowling, or we can go for a hike and talk. But try to avoid making every event. So pay attention to when you're full. It takes 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. So eat slower. Put down the fork between each bite. Chew food thoroughly. Stay hydrated. Sometimes you're thirsty instead of hungry. Start your meal with broth-based soup to help you to feel full. Fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables. Use smaller plates and set regular eating schedule. And I can't emphasize this one enough. Exercise. You should exercise so that you lose fat and not muscle when you're losing weight. You should exercise to improve and maintain weight loss, to strengthen your bones. Exercise can lower your blood pressure, lower your lipids level, lower your blood sugar level. Exercise can relieve stress and depression and improve your sleep. There are a lot of new weight loss medications that are out now. A lot are FDA approved meds. The first two here work by limiting the amount of fat that you absorb. The side effect of that is to be diarrhea. I've trialed a couple of these drugs. I have a dietitian group, and sometimes we'll trial different things. I definitely had diarrhea. So anytime you eat food that's high in fat, instead of your body absorbing the fat, it sends it out of your body, which could cause diarrhea. This could be very uncomfortable. Definitely lost weight, probably because I was scared to eat anything. Work could teach you to stay away from high fat foods. You just know, hey, if I eat that, I'm going to have a bad experience. But these two drugs here work by limiting the amount of fat that you absorb. This third drug here, the Contrave, one that I really like. It's a new FDA approved drug. It's an appetite suppressant, and it really works. It just kind of takes the edge off. So you're not feeling hungry. You're not thinking about food. You could actually drive by Krispy Kremes and not even think about stopping. So I like this drug here, the Contrave. Most insurances will not pay for it, but it may be worth the investment. Next couple of drugs work the same way to suppress the appetite. Same thing with the next three drugs here. They are appetite suppressants. The Wegovy is, I've heard really, really good things about this one. I know people who have lost weight on this particular drug. The good thing about weight loss drugs is, some people just need the extra little boost to get going. And then you can kind of feed off the motivation of losing weight. So just to kind of kickstart things. So there are some good drugs out there now to help you to kickstart the weight loss. So here's our post-test. Healthy weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds per week. True or false? We've talked about that a couple of times. Healthy weight loss is definitely about 1 to 2 pounds per week. So the answer there is true. All right, so this is going to conclude our presentation on weight control. I hope that I provided useful information on healthy eating, exercise, and lifestyle modifications that you can use to improve your overall health, well-being, and that will aid you in preventing chronic disease associated with obesity.